Perfect. Good morning, everyone. This is Roberto. Welcome to Using Big Data from XR for Positive Impact here for the VRARA Association Seattle chapter. I'm going to stop. This is just a quick screen share. This was the invite. I want to make sure that we see all our faces. If you can show your screen and just quickly say hi, you can go back to not sharing your face. We want to make sure that this becomes personal, and I will walk really quick through what the VRARA is, who I am, and the team that supports these kind of events. And then after those couple of minutes, I'll let Kalpana take over, our guest of honor here today. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll introduce this chapter. My name is Roberto Haza. I'm the chapter president of the Seattle VRARA Association. I'm also the founder of an extended reality advisory. We're a small consulting firm that advises businesses in the mid-market on implementation for extended reality experiences. I have a board that helps me with all the activities that we have been doing. We have been doing one virtual and one in real person since March of this year, and with certain levels of participation. So I invite everybody to participate on mute when the microphone is open. Julia Beabout, EVP of Partnership and Community, has been a great help. She's also the CEO and creative director of the Novaby AR studio. And Don Collin and Boaz Ashkenazi, they have been advisors for the chapter, getting all the activities going. I want to welcome everybody to this Seattle chapter event. The goal is for us to share knowledge and wisdom and perform experiments that push the boundaries of extended reality. We provide opportunities to be an active part of the extended reality community through projects, speaking engagements, learning opportunities, and connecting the Seattle extended reality community with the global extended reality community. Everything we do, programs, initiatives, are designed to accelerate anyone's growth, knowledge, and connections in what is this dynamic industry. For those that are not aware, the VRARA, as we call it, the VRARA Association, is an international organization. It is designed to foster the collaboration between solution providers and end users around the world. It accelerates the growth, fosters research and education, helps develop industry best practices, and connects member organizations and promotes the services of these member companies. We have a ton of content. It has been going for many years. We have a popular podcast with over 100 episodes, over 65,000 members that everybody can use as contacts when you become a member, 24,000 monthly website visits on the VRARA.com website. Like I mentioned, it's an organization developed by chapters, and we have 60 plus chapters. Seattle, this event that you're joining, is only one of the 60 chapters that we have. We have over 100 major events per year, 20 dedicated interest groups, meaning verticals that are aligned by industry, and a members like portal where we interchange real-time communication. We have, like, going back to the events, a global summit already confirmed for Orlando this year in October 17 and 19. I invite everybody to sign up. The early pricing, I think, is disappearing, and every month the price increases until they get to the maximum price at the end of September. The Seattle chapter, again, we're doing in-person and virtual events. We had a Snap Demo Day, very successful last month. We have an in-person personal tour at the AMP at the end of this month on June 29th. I invite everybody to sign up. And we'll have a first regional collaboration with the Vancouver chapter and many other chapters on the West Coast on July 19th. This will be a virtual event. And again, as an association, we have forums that are virtual. So they encompass, like, for example, the Enterprise and Training Forum that we had last May 24th. Over 1,000 people joined from all over the world, and we had over 60 speakers. And we have a healthcare forum next week. I invite everybody to join and see what is going on with healthcare that is leaps and bounds over any other industry, doing amazing things with extended reality. So without further ado, I'll start with my favorite quote from Walt Disney: "The way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing." And today I am honored to have as a as a guest speaker Kalpana Rupani, a data architect expert that has been working for many industry giants like Accenture, Verizon, Microsoft Azure, universities, and CTEL Group. So Kalpana, I'm going to turn the floor to you, and I'm going to stop sharing, and you can start your slideshow here. You are in mute, Kalpana.
Hello, everyone. You can see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, all good. Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Roberto, for including me in such an interesting discussion. Really excited about this topic, data from XR technologies. So did you know one of the biggest problems in corporations today is using data properly and leveraging the use of data? I have been to several clients and I see them struggle trying to find their useful data. And through many modernization projects I have been in, it's really hard for clients to find what data to modernize and how. And that's what we are going to talk about today, is use of vast amounts of complex data from XR technologies to create positive impact in business and daily lives. So to go over the agenda, first, a little bit about myself, then what I see as the future of XR AR. Then we move on to what is the positive impact from data in XR AR in business and daily lives. I'll talk about synthetic data, real data, and then open forum for questions. This is about a little bit about me. My name is Kalpana Rupani. And for most of my career journey, I've lived in Tampa, Florida. I have been in data and AI space for 15 plus years of strategic and tactical decision-making experiences. Bring massive value with big data challenges in XR AR world. Additionally, I have experience in enterprise architecture, cloud solutions, data strategy, data structures, modeling, analytics, visualization, and more to do with data. Have delivered meaningful outcomes across all operating groups: financial services, telecom, higher ed, health, government, in cross-industry capacity. Have been leader in projects that have ranged from $6 million to $50 million in revenue. So enough about me. Future of XR AR. What we see as the future of XR AR. McKinsey predicts XR AR spending to total $5 trillion in 2030. E-commerce in the XR AR will comprise 2 to 2.6 trillion of that total. What is the impact? 23 million jobs added globally. PwC analysis demonstrates the potential for significant productivity, innovation, training that impacts this 23 million added jobs globally. As a matter of fact, one of Cisco's scenarios, which is particularly exciting, is a smart city where on-street sensors deliver real-time traffic and route information to citizens. In this city of that not too distant future, you could roll out a bed, slip on your MR headset, and plan your route to work using a 3D interactive map. And this could change by the time you reach your car. And you have that all right in front of your eyes. So you could be making breakfast and there could be accidents, routes could change. and you have been rerouted with the optimized information in real time, right in front of your eyes. This is going to change our lives, just like iPhone changed our lives. I just want to reiterate what we all know. XR/AR is the future. I want to remind you it's going to create $5 trillion by 2030 and 23 million jobs globally. We all know better that any environment today can be made digital. But as IoT devices mature, we are going to be building on data collected by IoT and edge devices to make it better and sharper. This is going to be the core foundation for digital models of the physical world. We've got to keep our skills sharp. Moreover, this is going to generate explosive amounts of data, and we need talent and technology to support this. In addition to what I said, we got positive impact from this. The XR/AR presents wealth of opportunities to gather vast amounts of data. And this can be leveraged to create positive impacts in business and daily lives. And few potential ways to achieve this is personalized experiences. By collecting data on user behavior, businesses can build stronger connections, which is more human, multisensory, and emotional. It is also a far cry from our current experiences of looking at a static page. You're going to a search bar and typing in what you want to find and buy. Additionally, we are going to improve customer engagement. With data from XR/AR, businesses can gain a deeper understanding of their customers' interests and behaviors. This knowledge can be used to create more engaging content, such as interactive games or immersive experiences. And this will keep the customers coming back for more. Humans love gamification, and this is going to help customers coming back for more since they love games. So how do we do that? Enhanced product development. XR/AR provides a unique opportunity to test and refine in a simulated environment before they are released to the customers. By analyzing user data from these simulations, businesses can identify areas for improvement and create more effective products. Right while it's still in simulation, they have the interactivity while it's in simulation. This is life-changing. And finally, this will create greater efficiency. By analyzing data on user behavior and preferences, businesses can optimize their operations to run more efficiently. This might include improving supply chain management, optimizing pricing strategies, or streamlining customer service processes. This is going to change our lives. So let's talk about synthetic data and real data. What is synthetic data? Synthetic data is data that is generated from computer programs and algorithms. So why are more and more companies moving to synthetic data? I see three reasons. One is lack of control of data. So tech giants like Facebook, Google generate petabytes of data daily, and the control of data is in their hands. So for smaller organizations like startups, they don't have access to these large amounts of data. So they use synthetic data to make their models. The second reason for synthetic data is data privacy and compliance. So synthetic data can make reality both fair and secure, and that makes it more economical for smaller corporations. Because if you don't follow compliance, you're paying a huge penalty. And so synthetic data really helps in cost savings. The third reason for synthetic data is for simulation. So for example, models for autonomous driving, for testing person in front of a car crash, you don't want real data there, right? So that's where synthetic data can be used for simulation. XR/AR cannot be built without the use of synthetic data. Using a combination of generative AI models and visual effects, synthetic data technologies will be the key enabler of AI models required to power XR and AR. XR/AR will collect personal data like facial features, body gestures, health, financial, social preferences, biometrics, among many others. Protecting this personal data points should be the highest priority. With thorough data management and governance measures in place, a responsible and successful XR implementation can deliver long-term revenue while creating responsible data for training, storing, and deploying models in production. By correcting data biases and protecting data privacy, synthetic realness can make extended reality both fair and secure. A well-designed XR plan should establish transparent and ethical usage practices, confidentiality, privacy, and security, and invest in employee education. In conclusion, this is the wave of future. This is big data. We need big technology and advanced AI. We need people with talent and experience to support this. We need to start training our users now. This has explosive amounts of data, and if organizations do not have the right talent in place, they should start recruiting and partnering now. It is also important to invest in talent, partnerships, and technologies to implement XR/AR solutions. Businesses that fail to adopt this investment risk failing behind competitors and missing out on revenue streams, efficiency, and cost savings. Everybody knows this is coming. I did not tell you anything new today. We need experienced understanding of data. Otherwise, all this will be meaningless. This is where my team comes in. This is where people with my expertise come in and make it work. Thank you. Any questions and answers?
Perfect. Let's move into the Q&A of the session. I want to remind everybody, we have more sessions like this one later in the summer and in person. So the Summer West Fest that you see listed here will have focus on something that you mentioned, Kalpana, about generative AI and how generative AI comes into play with XR, right? So we'll have that in the Summer West Fest coming later in July in the summer. As well, I invite everybody to just come to Capitol Hill, to the AMP, to see the amazing work that artists did to use AR, mobile AR, to generate the visual effects to really enhance the memorial pathway experience. So if anybody wants to participate, ask questions, unmute yourself, type in the chat. I'll be happy to read the questions for you. Please participate. And we have our first question coming in from Drew. What do you think will be some of the risks and safeguards of big data collected as XR devices are used, Kalpana?
So risk is one of the biggest risks is managing this data and governance of the data coming in. We need proper governance, we need proper security, we need proper procedures in place on how you're going to manage it, how you're going to serve it, how you're going to secure it. So there's a whole section on governance, we can talk about it, but that's one of the biggest risks. And then also the volume, depending on the volume that's coming in, how do you streamline that and store that or manage it?
That's important. And any safeguards that you have seen done in other digital environments that can be implemented in XR in terms of safeguarding that privacy and
right,
and the
with
amount
proper there are a lot of tools that are available also that we implement, and then also there is I mean, you have to have that structure in place, and then you have to figure out what tools best fit your environment with the volume and what frequency and what latency you're getting the data. So knowing all those factors, you need to design a plan where you can implement security, governance, everything around the usage of how much data is output from those XR devices, at what speed, at what latency, at what volume. All these factors will play in designing how you try to manage it, secure it, govern it. So it's a whole process that you need to configure and put in place. And that has to happen in the designing phase of these applications.
From the design phase. Perfect. Right. Moving on to Dotun. Thank you for raising your hand. Please unmute yourself. Sure. The microphone is yours.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Kalpana, for the talk and for giving the high-level, picture about VR and some of the challenges and how your team has been solving some of these issues. So I just wanted to add some. I hope I don't get everybody like scared or something. A little bit lower technical aspect of why use synthetic data set. So just to add a fourth point to your points, because definitely your points are correct. From the modeling side of things, you also use a synthetic data set to balance. So there's a lot of imbalance in data set when training the models, and so synthetic data sets help you to also balance your model training as well. So that's one of the other things that you use synthetic data set for. And I guess part of it is you could relate to it as a simulation, which when you talked about the simulation aspect, well, obviously you still need to balance some data set. Which have you don't have like you have huge amount of data sets in some areas and very little amount of data sets in some areas or some applications, and so you want to balance that data set so that the model does not get too biased to applications where it has a lot of data sets and against less data set. Just a little bit more addition to what you've said. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Right. And that's very. I'll let you add to that, Kalpana. But something that visually I've noticed synthetic data started to play a big part in extended reality is just to fill in the volumetric models, right? I was in AWE a couple of weeks ago, and one application that really is impressing me is the real-time streaming of volumetrically captured humans, right? So that aspiration of being able to see humans as holograms showing in your headset, right? Like standing right next to real people. It's something that it's at an arm's length. Like developers are doing this amazing job at capturing, no longer needing 76 cameras or whatever it's needed for volumetrically capture, like perfect volumetric capture, right? They can just use 2 cameras. And I was speaking with this one developer that is targeting to use just the one camera that we have in our computers to then create the 3D model of the person that is speaking, right? So if you can imagine, synthetic data is going to be required for all of that data behind you, right? That the camera is not capturing. That's synthetic data at the visual sense, right? So he was showing me the model, how the cameras were capturing perfectly everything the camera was seeing. And then when you move around the hologram, you see holes on the back, right? Because there's no data basically so synthetic data will fill that void of missing data, for example. Kalpana, anything to add?
No, that's great. That's something new I learned today. But yeah, all those there are the balance, like what Doden said, is right. When there is less and more, you definitely fill in those gaps using the synthetic data. That would be really good. That's a good use of synthetic data that I see. So thanks for that info. Yeah.
Of course, Kalpana. Anything else? If anybody wants to participate, MLD KP. I'm glad that we responded to your question, Drew. Thank you. We have a few minutes left, so please shoot away while we have the expert in data architecture here. All right.
So quick question, are the data set in various industries, are they leveraging same data, or like all the top companies, Facebook, do they have their data set in like separate data set store for each of their VRAR applications, or do they leverage same data set? And where is that? Do you know where? Is that a company controlling all the data set, or?
So different companies, right, corporations have different ways of, depending on the size. The bigger companies like Facebook have their own data sets that's generated from all their social media. So they can use those data sets for their XRER applications. So the corporations already have different means to get their data, and then they can use those for XRER, right? Like if for digital models, you can have data from your own offices and then create another models from the same kind. So that depends on what you're looking at and what where you're trying to find the XRER data and what kind. So it's available. You have to just look for it. And some companies have it on their own, and some don't. And that's where synthetic data comes in.
Right, that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, we have more questions here in the chat. Are there any ways to protect data collected from XR experiences? I don't know if Emily, if that's as a user that I want to protect my data in an XR experiences that I'm in, or if it's as a company, hey, I want to protect this data so nobody else can access it. User and company. It's any ways to protect the data, Kalpana, that you have seen.
Yeah, so companies have their own standards, own privacy teams, own security teams, which take care of it. So they organizations have security departments within them, and it's a big big deal right now to have a cybersecurity team in every big organization, and they protect the data which is there from the company itself, which is stored in secure manner. Also, so there's different levels of security as the data comes in transit. It is encrypted. As it is stored, it is encrypted. It's secure. Nobody can use it. There are very low level access. Nobody is allowed to access any of the data. So there are several ways in which security is implemented. And for user data, for you entering that data, you will have options to pick from, like you have the opt-out or opt-in the social media apps, right? Same thing is there in any XR application. You could implement that, and then you can opt in or opt out of all the security levels. At which level you want to opt out, you want to opt in, could be implemented over there at the user level also. So it can be implemented at the user and at the company.
All right. Yeah, the data security is coming up to be a topic of conversation. Maybe we'll need to find a data security expert to come and speak to the VRARA in the coming months.
Right.
So thank you guys for asking these questions. Yeah.
Yeah, cybersecurity.
Okay,
is
if there's if there's nothing left, I think we have a minute left. We can move on to wrapping up our session today. Feel free to reach out. My name is, again, Roberto Haza, roberto@theverara.com. Julia is also part of the community and partnerships. Reach out to her, or kalpana@gmail.com if you guys want to ask questions, connect with her. Again, everything here is to build community and learn from each other. So I thank everybody for your time. I thank you, Kalpana, for being our the honor to be our speaker today. And if anybody's watching the recording, I invite you to visit VRARA.com/Seattle. We'll have every event that we have been planning. We post around a month out. And right now we have a couple of new events that are coming next week and later in the summer in July. So I invite everybody to register, be part of the community, and thank you for your time. Thank you, Kalpana, again. Any last words of wisdom you want to leave our audience with?
No, thank you, everyone. I'll be also talking at the Health Forum next week. So glad to have you all there. And thanks for listening to me. Thank you, Roberto. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. This recording will be posted in the YouTube Seattle channel. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.